Our current exhibition is Tobey Between East and West, which shows 15 works painted between the years 1945 and 1974. Tobey's work is shuttling between Occidental and Oriental art and philosophy, and can therefore be seen as a West and East or East-West synthesis. This show also came about because for many years Moeller has been overseeing the Tobey project, which issues certificates of authenticity and provides exhibition consultation and research related to the artist. Although Tobey's works at first glance seem very similar to abstract expressionism, it is very important to know that the ideas behind his paintings are actually very different than the ones behind action painting, which was practiced by the likes of Jackson Pollock, for example. In order to get fully immersed in Tobey's work, it is very important to know his spirituality and deep devotion to the Baha'i world faith. Like Mondrian, Kandinsky and Klee, Tobey saw the highest form of reality in the spiritual rather than the physical. Upon initial viewing, Tobey's paintings seem very abstract, but if you look closer, actually their source is revealed in the natural world below the surface, which resembles the abstract. By the late 1930s, Tobey had developed an increased fascination with Eastern philosophy and art, especially calligraphy, which led him to develop his own abstract calligraphy known as white writing. Describing his ideology behind this technique, Tobey remembered a moment where he was watching a fly move within space, and that's exactly what he wanted to capture. A really important painting of his is the Arena of Civilization. Here we are looking at a full orchestra of Tobey's teleology. This painting was first called Breaking Parallels and then Lifting Parallels. The vast panel is made up of superimposed compartments. One sees figures lying, sitting and standing, seated on a rug like Muslims reading the Quran, or eating as in the early Christian agape. This painting perfectly symbolizes Tobey's conviction that each cultural level, like each religion or style of art, derives from a previous state. Tobey used his surface as if it were a writing tablet. He felt very keenly that space should be freer, and he really wanted to smash form and melt it in a more dynamic and moving way. In 1957, Tobey shifted his focus towards painting in black sumi ink. Composition number 1 is a very fine example of these explosive and radiant works created by the strokes and gestures of black ink on Japan paper.